so there won't be a video tomorrow. We're out at the newly reopened station hall at the Railway Museum. I'm taking some of the sights right now, so I've flipped the camera around for you. And there we go, look at that. You can see some of the old railway from the sidings there of the old York station. Station's the building you can see in the distance. If you're a Thomas the Tank Engine fan, you may well recognise that carriage over there. It was painted green as what they used to call the Flying Kipper in Thomas the Tank Engine. Because we're live, that means we have other people, so Charlotte's also live with us.
Hi!
And the station hall's just over here, which is where we're going to go next. But this should be quite interesting. So the actual entrance is from their car park, which is back over that way. There's a play area and stuff. Obviously we're live, so I may have to be a bit more careful about catching other people and stuff if they don't want to be live or on YouTube, which is fair enough. Right, we've got to sign in first.
I've never been.
So whilst I do that, because here you have to pay £10 for their car park, but then you can park there all day. You have to give them your registration number, etc. So as I do that, I'm going to do something that's not been done before. I'm going to switch hosts. So for the minute at least, until I've signed in and got through the check-in, your host will actually be Charlotte.
Yay!
So over to you, Charlotte.
Thank you. There's a £5 donation. But there's a £5 donation.
Yeah.
So I need to become the World Railway, the World Railway Museum, and we need your support. With your help, we can transform our spaces, revolutions, and share runners, and railways, and visitors to enjoy it. The £5 donation. There's also a mini railway. Blade. That way. Look at that. It's ripped. Look, it's ripped. Look at that. Give you time to read that. The coal man's blue. That big map up there. You know, there's a mini railway and stuff. So yeah. Can't see people. So can I just here? Oh.
How many other are you?
Look, there's more signs. There's so many. Look at them all. Look, there's little bandana thingies. Look, this is and stuff. Sorry, the Lloyd's thing. Here you go.
Oh gosh. Right, so apparently I'm back.
There's one specific person doing Italian brain rot for some
Right,
reason.
so I don't know how Charlotte was doing. If can you let me know how Charlotte was doing? She's not really started the channel before. I've had her on the channel before, but it's normally been when we shared a video with her, because she's got her own channel as well. Wow, look at this. I'm just going to show you this. Look at the old station clock. Look at that. That's stunning. And we've got some old carriages over here, so look at these. They're awesome. It's absolutely awesome. So this has been shut for, I think it's about 2 years whilst I've been doing it all up. All the road layout as well around the Railway Museum here in York has also been redone. Still not quite finished yet. So, but this whole thing has been 2 years in the making. So it'll be quite interesting to see what they've done with it. It's also quite cool and worth noticing that now what they have added, whilst they've had this shut for the last 2 years, is they've also had the chance to add in a miniature railway, which you can do as well. But so we can go up the stairs here, which we'll do afterwards, or we can look. What we're going to do first, finish looking down here at these carriages, because some of these are stunning. So they have got actual official royal carriages here. See, as well. They've got like the Golden Lion and stuff on them. The old railway carriages for the actual Queen. You can see the marking there, see? I'm not sure which one this would have been for, mind. But see, you can see all the royal crests. The Queen had her own private train and everything. So, and here's the actual train. Now this wasn't here before as far as I'm aware. Famous train there, it's called Gladstone. It only ever pulled along the Queen. See that? South Coast Railway. And again, the Royal Crest is on there as well. Stunning thing. We had some technological issues there, so I'm not sure what happened. We got cut off. So I'm going to guess that Queen Elizabeth, in the 1950s, the Queen did still actually go around by railway. Now, I'm going to have a sneaking suspicion that I may well get cut off when I get to the back, because the mobile phone signal out here isn't brilliant. And right, for those of you who are up in the North Yorkshire way, look at it. We've got some of the old signs now. Robin Hood's Bay, Tees Valley, Castle Howard. Some of these places I didn't even realise had stations. That's really cool. What's that? So what is this? There we go. Got the old ticket kiosk there.
Even have the stampede.
Not sure why. I'm going to have a guess that the Wi-Fi here at the Railway Museum probably isn't the ideal for streaming. But which is a bit unfortunate. As we're getting to near the front, see, it's more stable. So it's kind of about halfway up the platform, roughly where that marker is there. If I go beyond that, the connection becomes unstable. So we've got another one of the Royal Coach. Because you're higher up, you're on the platform, you can see inside. See, they've got the desk and the phone.
There's sofas.
Look at this. Really cool. See, so this is all the kind. This is how the Queen, King would have travelled back in the day on the train. So a far cry from the kind of seats you get today on your railways. Look at it. We've got the other one we were looking at previously, that's just there. So you've even got, this would have been this specific side here of the platform. This would have been for the goods trains. So consequently, they've all but been removed. Charlotte keeps posing for some reason. Interesting job trying to do a live stream with children around. This one's more interesting, this one, because there's another Royal Carriage, but this one's lit up. So you can see the inside much better.
There's even pictures.
So this is all, like I say, newly reopened. These Royal Carriages were always here. But the station hall itself is newly reopened. It was inaccessible at one point. So, see, this is new. They didn't have a shop in here last time. So that's new. But, look, they've got an old W.H. Smith's. That's quite awesome. So how long have W.H. Smith's been putting themselves in stations then, if that's they've got a W.H. Smith here? Look at it. So I'd imagine that would be back in like the 20th century. People would have got in there to get their newspaper. Look at this. They've got here. Look at this, passenger comforts. Look at this.
I don't think you're supposed to be able to get in there, Charlotte.
Daddy, the door's locked.
So this one is another one, but this is, what's this? So this is the Midland Company. So that's interesting. So this looks like this probably would have been operating in London back in the day, that one. Which is quite nice. I'll give you a quick look at that. Film people without their permission, so it's like LMS trains.
Shiny, shiny.
If there's some intermittency with the signal, I've noticed as you go down the back end of the platform, the mobile phone signal. Right, I'm going to guess what it is. The V-bar to the back, so it becomes quite a connection. But if you look, and you bear with me, there's some stunning stuff to see at the back of these. Look at this. You can actually see the workings of the train. That's really awesome. That's something you don't normally get to see.
It's a seat.
And you've got where the poor bugger, some poor bugger would have had to stand there shoveling the coal 10 to the dozen. Imagine how much coal you'd actually get in there. It's a fair amount, isn't it? So these would have been the original platform entrance you can see here. So these would have been where you would have come into the platforms from this side. So we'll make our way around to the other side of the other platform. Look at that though. Old scales for weighing your luggage. Gold. I wonder if that's actually gold, or that's probably more likely to be brass, I would imagine. Get off. Let me just stuff. Oh, not sure what that's got to do with anything. Well, I've got a video projecting on the wall. That one's new as well. So as we come back up the other side of the LMS train we were on before, and the carriage end, it's classic green. CSW. So we've got a slightly different style of carriage again. So we've now got glass. And again, you can see it's all been done up nice and shiny. So, for going to Torrington, Midland carriage hasn't got a destination sign as it happens for some reason. And then you've got, on this side, we've got first and second class. Even guards. So this has all been done, like I said, of like 2 years, as I said earlier. Some of this LS diesel there was working here back in the day, moving all the goods around on the sidings, and this is a rarity. The old Intercity style. Look at that. This is the first kind of look into passenger trains as you see them today. Advertising, you see, look, trips away for shopping. There's one over there. Advertising on the other window, you can see through there. Advertising, you can use it to get away as a couple. I've seen one advertisement on one of these to advertise day away to the beach. So railway is still a very popular way to travel. And this one's new, because so this wasn't here until this was done up, but this is an old post office train, as if the post office doesn't. And then they would actually sort it, as you can see, because they've got all the different sorting slots.
How do they still actually have actual letters in it?
And over there they've put some letters and stuff in. And you can see here the bags, that these are the kind of bags that would have been hung up on a post, on a hook out high, sticking out for the train to then catch as it went whooshing past. The train never actually stopped to pick up the post. It picked up whilst it was going full chat, which is quite impressive. And then we've got, now if you're a diesel fan, you'll like this. So we've got the Royal Scot. Now, this you used to be able to actually get into the cab. You can't anymore, they've locked it. But you can still see the control. I don't know an awful lot about diesel. Anybody who does watch this at any point, or is watching now even, knows a bit more about diesels than me. Charlotte's got a good question. The Royal Scot here, why has it got a telephone where the control kiosk is? Because I'm not sure what that's for. I'm guessing, I would imagine it would be in contact with something or someone. I'm just not sure who they would have been in contact with via said telephone. And then you've got a whole rack here of various LMS one there. And then we've got some, these are cattle ones. Banana train. That's interesting. They used to ship bananas. So this is an old cattle style one. They would have shifted cattle in this. So the way this would have worked is when they were moving cattle around, top two doors open, flat, making no gap. And the platform, the cattle could get out. That's moving around cattle. These were very widely used, these carriage styles, in North Yorkshire, and West Country, where there was a lot more farming, a lot more rural atmosphere. And a lot of the LMSD actually into your tank engine. It's this LMS diesel here that Mavis was based on. That specific LMS diesel. This is a funky looking little thing. Look at this. GWR. Not sure what this would have been used for. maybe used for moving. It's got a attachment on the back, so was it used for something? I'm not entirely sure what it was used for. It's very cheap. Oh, okay.
Explaining things.
Mechanical. Has 20 miles an hour, so not brilliant. And we're trying to replace horse-drawn carts, so this is what it tries to be. You've got horse carriage there. It's Lancashire, in Yorkshire Railway. Road. So again, and when my starts to get unstable, I may cut off. We'll have to. But this again, the trains that started in the referendum. This would have been the one they named as Duck. That's really cool. There's not many of this style of train left either. See, it's called the Class J7 J1B. So, designed by Henry Ivett, the engineer in charge of the Great Northern Railway's localised fleet. You got a picture of it there going through. There you go. And then the last thing we've got down here is a passenger's luggage and guard carriage. The general Great Northern Railway. Literally the version of stop there. That was an operation to that island of Jersey, so yeah, I'm quite sure what it's caught and what it hasn't caught. You can see it's got a Pullman coach. This was like the first real kind of, right, we're going to try and sell this to the public. First real kind of, right, we're going to try and sell this to the public. In any kind of meaningful way. In any kind of meaningful way. Mobile phone signal up here is awful, so it keeps cutting off like every 10 seconds or so. What would have been bringing in all the, I suppose, for lack of a better word, goods during the, I suppose, for lack of a better word, goods during the day. But it's doing really well. So, Station Hall, been shut for 2 years. They've had a chance to start, but some of them are where functional the Royal Scot. We've got a post lorry over carriage over here, and we've got quite a few royal carriages as well. The Pullman, I can't figure out how, but there must be there's a train further down which is a dining carriage. I'm not sure how, but there must be a way of being able to actually eat on it, because I've seen people, there's people in there eating, and it's like proper like old school dining service on a train with like the white tablecloths and the silver. It's all very, very cool. But right, so this is the royal carriage. You can see here how they've got There we go, see? This one's a bit easy to see, it's lit up. So you can see better inside that carriage as to what they used to have. Well, the Queen used to travel like this, it's insane. Honestly, you know, health and safety probably butt in these days and say you had to have the chairs fixed in place and all sorts, but not then. They've even got the old WHS in place there. But yeah, they've done a really good job in this over the last couple of years. I don't know how much time they've spent on various items, because obviously they've done up the whole lot. They've even gone around and repainted all the carriages. The postal carriage is actually new, so I'd urge you to come in and have a look at that, because that's actually something quite unique, and you can actually walk inside it. You've got the standard dining area here for normals, for like you can get your cream teas and stuff. Over there, the Lancashire and North Yorkshire as well.
Can I show you something?
Right, so that completes the live stream anyway for Adventure 82 from Station Hall. I could show you some more, but unfortunately the mobile phone signal keeps resetting, so I'm not even sure how much of this I've shown you is actually going to stay on the actual main recording. So we'll have to see how well that goes. But if I can give you any advice at all, it would be, one, do come and have a look at the Station Hall. This postal carriage I've got right next to me here is absolutely stunning thing to look inside. One of the most interesting things I've seen. They've done a great job at doing up all these royal carriages and letting you see what's inside. There's a play area now outside actually for kids, which is really, really nice. They've got the little shop they've always had. There's a Pullman cart down there, which you can, there's a dining car just behind it where you can dine in somehow with like the old school white cotton and the silver cutlery and the whole 9 yards. I'm not sure how they do it, but if you can find out how to book in that, I'll probably give that a try. But otherwise, yeah, due to technical issues with the mobile phone constantly disappearing whilst I'm filming this, I'll see you next time. You guys all take care. And I'll be back with a normal video on Friday. Probably be Sunday next week. That'll be a normal recorded and edited video. But from this live stream here at the Railway Museum down here in York, have a nice day and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care of yourselves.